One thing that we have to discuss is the driving in AcceleRacers. More specifically, is the driving in AcceleRacers and the World of Race actually real? If so, if not, what would the drivers do in real life? And so in this video we'll be going over and explaining if the driving in AcceleRacers is legit. Now the first clip that we have to explain is Vert's famous loop-to-loop clip. Is what he is doing legit? And the answer to that is yes. Many drifters actually use this maneuver to cover 180-degree turns in tight corners. So if you're an OG of the channel, you already know what's going on. Here we have different stages of Vert's car in a drift. And basically there are several factors to execute a successful drift. And the first is inertia, and that basically conserves the motion of where your car is going. Basically, his car always wants to be going 90 degrees to where he's actually turning, and that's what, without inertia then there is no drift. The next is centripetal force, which is basically just pulling his car to the center, helping him with his turn. And the next is actually friction. Now friction, there's obviously friction with the tires in the road, and using the handbrake specifically disrupts that grip so then he can make a successful turn. So this clip of Vert is actually legit. Keep in mind this drifting concept is what basically makes most of these clips real. The next clip we've got is the Jigger Chad Kurt performing this 180-degree maneuver. And after thinking about this for a minute, he does exactly what you need to do. Reverses, turns while you use a handbrake, changes gears and accelerates. I think it's just amazing to see that the animators actually know what they're doing, but who thought a series about racing would actually have legit racing in it? Again, we've got Kurt Wilde. At first I thought this scene wasn't legit because he didn't have his foot on the clutch, but then I realized that he reached the threshold of needing the clutch, and as Kurt accelerates, because of his brake, his front wheels are locked, and therefore the back wheels continue to roll and accelerate in addition to his nitrox, and so when he releases the brake he goes really fast, just like a drag race. This is also where the car tips backwards, and why the back wheels are spinning faster than the front wheels. Also, it's good to note that they get all of the reverse and accelerations right, especially when using the clutch, as it just adds to the overall realism and effect that this series has produced. And again we have Kurt. Analysing the scene, he does it perfectly. First of all, he needs to steer the wheel to make the turn, brake for that friction and activate the clutch so he can change gears and keep his engine alive. He also needs to change into the reverse gear and accelerate to reverse, and he does. And damn, this has some real thought put into it, as this was one of the most complicated maneuvers in the whole series. And finally, if we just take a look at the overall gear change and reverse, this driving literally checks out. I don't need to explain this, but it's good to see that the driving is legit, because not only would this take so much time to make and animate, but these movies were actually rushed, so the fact that they were able to make it real is a feat in itself. Anyway, thanks for watching. What are your thoughts? Is the driving legit?